Hi, this is about the Pinal Truth Squad. What you're about to see is a representation of why the Pinal Truth Squad exists. We put the Pinal Truth Squad together because this community deserves to know fact. There's a lot of emotion that flies on both sides of a lot of issues out here, and a lot of it is driven, unfortunately, by a utility owner of all things. Mr. Johnson is driving his point of view, basically ramming it down our throats. And I'm not about that. I think our citizens out here deserve to know the facts on both sides of the issue. And they should be able to speak out without fear. A lot of the things that come out of here, out of people's mouths, if they speak ill of Mr. Johnson or his utility company, maybe they're deserving, maybe it's not, but oftentimes they're sued. That's the tactic that's been used in the past. It's my hope that through the Pinal Truth Squad, citizens will join in, step up, and speak their mind, and without fear of reprisal. I will be the one that gets sued as things come through here. And we have the resources, thanks to people like you, who contribute in the form of $5, $10, to build our defense fund, knowing that we're going to need it, and as we work for the truth. Now, if you have an axe to grind, that's not what this is about. If you're going to make up stuff just to hurt somebody, that's not what this is about. This is about talking about your issues, your experiences, and deal in fact. Deal in the truth. And we know that if we work together and we get the facts out there, and if we have somebody willing to stand up and take the blows, which we know are coming, that we can accomplish a lot. That's my role today. Take the blows. And I'm fine with that. Obviously, I've been doing that for 3 years for this community. So, stand with me. You don't have to stand up front. You don't have to worry about getting hit in the head. But I need to know that you're back there behind me. And I'm speaking for you. You want to be up front? That's fine. But right now, I'm happy to speak for you. But I'm only going to speak the truth. I'm only going to talk in fact. And I don't have an axe to grind. I just want this community to feel that they have control of their community. Thanks for watching this. And check us out online and learn more. Learn more about this, and you decide what you believe is the truth. Well, first, welcome. I want to welcome you all to Santan Flat. If you haven't been here before, this is a good time. This is a nice place. I recommend you come back or stay around and eat some more dinner tonight. Speaking of dinner, there's a lot of food here, so take what you like. If you want to take some home, feel free to do that as well. My name is Brian Martin. And I live in Santan Valley. And that's really the gist of it. There are some other positions that I hold that are irrelevant to what we're talking about today. I know it will come up, so I'll address it as it comes up, but that's not the position I'm in. You're here to to find out a little bit more about the Pinal Truth Squad. And we'll answer all those questions. There's not a question you'll ask today that I won't give you my honest answer. Those that know me know I tell you what I think, how I believe, and you don't always have to just agree with it, but I will hear your side of the story as well. The Pinal Truth Squad, I've been out in this community, serving this community, living in this community for a number of years, and I've been at war with a guy, and I think war is the right way to put it, with a business owner out here who has a practice a documented practice of kind of being a bully. Basically, if somebody says, historically, if somebody says something that could be seen as somewhat derogatory towards him personally or his company, his general first course of action is litigation. And most people can't afford going to court, even when they know you're absolutely right, and you'll win the case, and you'll get all your money back. Not a lot of people have got $20, $30, $40, $50,000 to go fight to say, no, I believe what I believe and I was right saying what I said. So he basically gets people to submit to saying bad things. Don't say bad things about me or my company, or we're going to meet in court. And that's pretty effective most of the time. Most people quiet down. And we've seen on a number of occasions in Santan Valley where people have stood up and said this is wrong, started a website where they just collected information, where people had complaints on. If you remember the Johnson Water Stinks website that was up for a while, more than 100 different people sent in their issues on what they had with this particular utility company. Well, this particular utility company then saw this as, hey, you can't say that, you can't post that. And then they were going to take them to court. They threatened to sue them. So they shut down the website and those things. That's fine, that's their prerogative as business owners. And I respect that, I understand that. But my hope is to, let's treat customers, let's treat the citizens of Santan Valley with a little more respect. Not a lot of us have any idea, does anybody here know who David Rousseau is? David Rousseau is the chairman of SRP, another utility company. You've never heard of him. How many of you have ever got a letter in utility bill from David Rousseau who said he had a problem with the county supervisor? None. It doesn't work like that. Well, the idea of the Pinal Truth Squad is to get facts out there and to kind of let you know more about this particular entity and just kind of tell you, hey, this is the guy you're dealing with. A couple things out here. Can you make this guy go away? A lot of people, hey, get rid of him. Well, that's not going to happen. The utility company is not going to go away. The owner is not going to go away. This doesn't work like that. The goal of Pinal Truth Squad is to make people aware that it's okay to say the truth about anything in this community. Whether it's a utility, anything, a politician, anything you want to say, you can say it without fear of going to court. If it's the truth. If you start spreading lies and slander, then we're going to talk. But you do it to me, well, for me, it's a free game. You can say anything you want about me, apparently. That's just how it works. As a politician, it comes to the job. But we want citizens to feel that they have a place where they can learn what facts are, the facts about an issue, ask questions, receive honest answers, and create a dialogue. Now, when we talk about truth, a lot of times we focus on the negative things. Well, this doesn't have to be all negative. If you think you've got a business owner or an entity or anything that's doing a great job, that's a good thing. We want to hear about that. We want this place to feel like it's a community. When I came into my job here, this area was known as the town of Queen Creek. It was known as Queen Creek, not town of Queen Creek, just Queen Creek. And 80,000 people out here thought they moved into a place that was Queen Creek. Because the zip, what was the zip out here? 85242. This was all 85242 for years. So when they got out here and they went to the library and they said, hey, I need a library card. And they said, well, where do you live? I live in Queen Creek. What's your address? Town of Queen Creek. Oh yeah, I live in Circle Cross. I live in Santan Heights, you know? It's right there. It's just down the street. And they're like, it's $50. Like, $50? Yeah, you don't live in the town of Queen Creek. No, that's what my mailing address says. I live in Queen Creek. It's on my driver's license, everything. Created big problems. So what we started to do was create a community here, give you an identity. Now was that process perfect? Coming up with anything? No, it was flawed at best. Flawed at best. There were some resource issues and some timing issues where it was rushed. Knowing what I know today and knowing how the post office works, because the post office still doesn't have it right, we would have had a more robust, long-term campaign funded through the community to give you a name. The bottom line for me was the name really wasn't important. Whatever the name was, you gotta get moving. You gotta coalesce around an identity. So when I tell somebody, I have 80,000 people that live in this community, they don't look at me like, where do they live? By the way, they still do that. They still don't know that Santan Valley is out here. They may have heard of it, and then when I tell them there's 80,000 people out there, they don't believe me. These are the guys like Dan Harkins for movie theaters. 80,000 people, you know. Chapman Chevrolet, 80,000 people, there's no way. They would rather put a car dealership in Miami with 5,000 people than put one over here. It's the craziest thing ever. Bottom line is, I'm trying to pull this community together. We need to try to pull this community together, and we need to feel that we have control, at least an equal say in how we're treated. One of the things about the Pinal Truth Squad is there are entities out there who really should treat us better. They really should. My hope at the end of the day is that Mr. Johnson decides, you know, my tactic of being the guy with the heavy hand and saying, nope, this is how it's going to be, maybe he'll take a different tack and be our friend. and not the enemy, because in so many arenas, Mr. Johnson is seen as the enemy. David Rousseau from SRP, he's not the enemy. He's just the guy who runs that other small utility company. My hope is that Mr. Johnson changes the way he approaches our citizens. You don't have to be the bad guy. You have a monopoly. He's your water guy. That's all there is to it. No one's going to buy out his company. They're not going to come in and change it. Treat your citizens better, treat your customers better, and provide a product that they're happy with. I don't know the numbers of how many of our citizens, how many of his customers are dissatisfied at some level with the quality of their product. I know a large number of citizens who are dissatisfied with the price of this product. But I will tell you, the price is not regulated by him. It's not his call. He can ask for more. The Corporation Commission determines the price that he charges for the product he delivers. So my hope is that he creates a better product that matches his price point and treats his citizens better, so they feel that we're working together. Invariably, we always seem to be working against, in some capacity, against George Johnson and Johnson Utilities, and that's not what this community is about. This community is really working hard every day to come together. And we are. We've got our issues that we're working on, our businesses, we've got political issues, we've got personal issues, like all communities do, and we're trying to get it together. I'll finish up with this, and then I'll take your questions. This community, average age in Santan Valley is 28 years old. 28. People moved out here for a cheap house when gas was $1.98 a gallon. They moved out here and they said, this is a great investment. It's a great house. I can get 3,000 square feet for $120,000. This is where we're planting our roots. Because I just moved from Gilbert, and this is just down the street from Gilbert, so this is going to be just like Gilbert. And then they got here, and they're like, this ain't like Gilbert. You know, the grocery store, you had one. There was a time we didn't even have a gas station out here, for those that remember back that far, and it wasn't that long ago. In 2000, the year 2000, there were 4,000 people that lived in Santan Valley. In 10 years, we have 80,000 people. Our hospital, we have a great hospital. That hospital delivers, Banner Ironwood, delivers 3 babies a day. That's a kindergarten class a week. In 4 years, I can tell you, I don't have enough schools. This community does not have enough schools. In 4 years, we're out of schools. I don't have enough classrooms for all the kids that are going to stay and populate this community. We need to get these numbers in our heads and figure out where the future is and what we want to look like when we grow up. And I understand that at an average age of 28, what are most people worried about? How am I getting back and forth to work? Am I going to have time to go to the Little League game to see my kid play ball? Do I have enough ball fields for my kids? Just so you know, we have the largest Little League district in the state of Arizona. We have more Little League baseball players in Santan Valley as a district than any other Little League district in the state of Arizona. And I don't have enough fields for them. I saw some kids the other day, they had coaches, they were in a little retention basin. It wasn't 80 feet wide. These kids, they got all these little T-ball things set up there, and the cars are parked up on the hill, and all these little kids are down in this grass retention basin, and that's where they're practicing their baseball. We have great meetings.